Today I would like to talk about the self-awareness anchor. Have you ever said something out of anger or frustration, and as soon as it left your mouth, you wished you could take it back? Maybe you should become a paper tiger instead. Hi neighbor, welcome to Anchors of Encouragement. I'm Tim Maudlin, husband, adoptive parent, Bible class teacher, and the persistent encourager. Did you finally realize your dream of having a family only to have your happily ever after turn into a nightmare? Have you ever been told you're failing your kids? Life can be tough. Storms in life are inevitable, but there are ways to remain anchored when life knocks the wind out of you. In Anchors of Encouragement, my mission is to throw adoptive parents a lifeline and be your anchor, to teach you biblical solutions for modern-day problems so that you can weather the storms of life too. If you're ready for real and raw talk that leads to peace beyond comprehension so you not only survive but thrive in life's storms, this podcast is for you. Hope and healing are on the way. Today I want to encourage you to growl, to roar, and purr. As I'm sitting here recording this episode, I'm imagining those of you who are listening to this and going, you want us to become a paper tiger? Yes, I do. But not in the traditional sense. Because the traditional sense of a paper tiger is, that person who is outwardly powerful or dangerous, but inside they're weak. That's been used to describe people, and it's been used to describe nations. That's not what I'm talking about. But I like the phrase here, and I want to try to create a different metaphor for you to consider with me today. As we get into this, I want to share a raw story with you. It's about my wife and myself. For the first 8 years of our marriage, my wife and I dealt with infertility. We tried several different medical procedures to try and conceive, but one by one, they didn't work. It was a rather frustrating time in our lives. The medical disappointments were hard enough to take, but on top of the medical disappointments and the weight we felt from those, we also had people who made insensitive comments to us. People would make assumptions that we weren't having children because we didn't want children, or we had different priorities regarding our careers. Bottom line is, it wasn't their business, but a lot of people made it their business to make comments, and these comments really hurt. I dealt with it probably easier than my wife, but I know it still hurt. And my wife, I felt for her because when she would be told something, typically she would turn and walk away in tears. At first, we didn't say anything. Honestly, we were shocked that people would pry into our business like that. But after a while, I guess we got a little more calloused to the whole aspect of infertility. And people would say, well, why don't you have children? We would blurt out, we can't. And then, even then, some people wouldn't stop. They would still say things. I don't know. It just got to the point where we withdrew within ourselves. And when we finally got to the point where we were considering adoption, we had a very small circle of friends we would talk to, because we just didn't want it to get out there what we were trying, because we had been through so many disappointments, and we just didn't want people asking us what's going on with your adoption. Beyond that, there have been times in my life, and more times than I care to admit, when I've been frustrated with a situation or with a person, and I've said things that I wish immediately I could take back, and I couldn't. And that's the idea I want to share with you in this episode today, being self-aware and how you can avoid saying things that you're going to regret. I'm reminded of the passage in James chapter 3. I would like to begin in verse 7. Every kind of animal, bird, reptile, and fish is tamed and has been tamed by humankind, but no one can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison. With the tongue we bless our Lord and Father, and with it we curse people who are made in God's likeness. Blessing and cursing come out of the same mouth. My brothers and sisters, these things should not be this way. We should not be talking bad about people. Is there a way to tame the tongue? And I would like to suggest there is a way to tame it. It's going to take work, but I believe it can be tamed. I would like to suggest that you tame your tongue with paper, that you become a paper tiger. And here's the sense that I want to convey with you and the metaphor I want to use with it. Because I believe if we become a paper tiger in this sense, it can be a positive thing. I want you to tear into somebody on paper. I want you to growl and I want you to roar. Don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting name calling, but I am suggesting that you vent on paper. You talk it out on paper. You take it out on paper. When you become frustrated, do those things, but do it on paper. And then I want you to tear it up. Because once you get it out of your head and once you tear it up, things are going to be better for you. There are 3 benefits that I have personally discovered from doing this. Number 1, you can get immediate relief. You will feel better if you take it out on paper. Now, you might have to do this on a regular basis, but you will get immediate relief. Number 2, you can avoid regrets. Remember, you can't unsay what you say. So if you want to avoid those regrets, take it out on paper, talk it on paper. Number 3, you have a 24/7 sounding board available at any time and at any place. All you need is pen and paper. There's also a 4th benefit. After you have growled and after you have roared on paper and after you've torn it up, I want you to purr. I want you to replace your frustration with thanksgiving. Look at the situation that has frustrated you. Look for the silver lining in that situation. Is there a benefit that you can realize because of what you've gone through? Think about that person you're frustrated with. After you've talked about the reasons they frustrated you, look for something positive about that person. Write that down. That will make you feel better as well. Now, just for a moment, I'd like to speak directly to adoptive parents. You will have unkind things said to you if you are going through adoption trauma. Trust me. We were told things like, you're too strict with your kids. You're too lenient. You don't know what you're doing. And then we were even told you're failing your kids. That cuts deep. That hurts. I don't think on any of those occasions we really responded. We were really shocked. And it's not going to be helpful to respond in kind either. It's one of those situations where you need to take it out on paper. I understand what you're going through. I've been through that. And it's better if you can just take that out on paper. Because a lot of times people are making comments like that from a place that they don't understand. They don't know what you're going through. They don't know what you're trying to do. If you're like me, you're doing the best you can. And sometimes things don't always work out like we would like for them to. So use this as a way to take your frustrations out, talk it out on paper. Let's get to the daily doable. Now, whether you are an adoptive parent or not, I believe all of us can benefit from becoming a paper tiger. So the next time you're frustrated with a person or a situation, rather than lash out and say something you're going to regret that you wish you could take back, become a paper tiger. I want you to take your frustrations out on paper and then tear it up. Growl, roar, and then purr. Remember the purr to be thankful. Write something you're thankful for about this situation or this person. That's all for this episode. I hope this anchor of self-awareness will benefit you. I know it has benefited me. It's helped me to become more aware of what I say and avoid saying things I'm going to later regret. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, this is Tim encouraging you to do what you can now. If this podcast has given you the courage and confidence to face storms in your life, the number one way you can thank me is to leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. Tell a friend about the show. Take a screenshot of this episode and share it in your Instagram stories and tag me at Tim Maudlin. You can also connect with me in my Facebook group, Anchors of Encouragement. So until next time, this is Tim encouraging you to do what you can now.